Thanks for joining me. I'm Brittany and I'm in Fairfax Pilates, which is a boutique studio in Northern Virginia. So please come by and visit if you're in the area. Today's workout is going to be a mat-based workout. So I'm just using my tower bed, but you can use a mat. And it's going to be about 30 minutes. Some of my favorite exercises that are best for making your body just feel good all over. So full body toning, stretching, strengthening, and everything in between. So go ahead and get yourself ready to go, and I will be here when you're ready. Welcome back. We are ready to get going with some mat-based exercises. So go ahead and get yourself comfortable. I'm going to begin with just some very simple low back stretches. Go ahead and bend the knees, place the feet down about hip distance apart. I'm going to grab the back side of my thigh and lead with my waistband backward away from the legs with the intent really to stretch through the lower back. And then bring yourself back up again. Curve the tail under, roll backward, and then bring yourselves up. And one more time, round backward, and then all the way up. Keeping the knees bent, arms in front, I'm going to roll backward, again, stretching that lower back only so far as that my feet don't lift. And then as I come forward, I'm really overdoing it so that I round through my lower back as I go forward. And I'm just rolling backward and then flexing forward. So this gives you a really nice stretch through the lower back here. Works the lower belly, stretches the back on the way backward, and then also stretching on the way forward. Let's get about 3 more. 2, and now this time I'm going to just lay all the way down onto my back. Keeping the knees bent with the feet about hip distance apart, I'm going to just go through a couple of pelvic tucks. So I'm flexing my tail under, tilting my pubic bone up, and then releasing. So when I release, I'm trying to create space under my back, and then I'm going to tuck and flatten my lumbar spine and then release. So when you're doing these pelvic tucks, make sure you're not just forcing it under with your back and your butt. You want to be pulling from your tummy like you are engaging your pelvic muscles, kegling, and then returning. And then we're going to go one more time. Pelvic tuck and then release. Now we're going to try to hold it. So I'm going to just gently engage pelvic floor muscles. The low back presses into the mat like it's soft sand. And I'm going to lift the legs up to tabletop position. Now they can be hip distance or together. Together is preferred. And I'm going to do that pelvic tilt and then release here. Notice that it's more challenging as your legs are up. This is called open chain. Open kinetic chain here because your feet are not grounded, so that makes it more challenging. If you've got low back issues, you're going to be doing all of these with your legs down. And then we're going to just straighten the legs up towards the ceiling, and we're going to do that same pelvic tuck. So it is really small and it feels deep. That's what we want here. So it's a passive way to stretch the lower back and then also deeply engage the abdominal muscles. Okay, and then I'm just going to flex my feet and do a couple of more just to get that stretch down the back of my legs. One more time. And then I'm going to just hug my knees in towards the chest and a little gently side to side rocking here. And let's put the feet back down. All right, again, hip distance with the feet. Now this time I want my feet close into my bottom, and I'm gonna start with that pelvic tilt, and then I'm peeling my hips up away from the mat to create a straight line from my thigh to my shoulder. Once I'm here, try not to let the legs open. You wanna have the knees parallel to the floor here, or parallel to each other, not the floor, so the inner thighs are working. And then we're gonna just round and melt from the top to our tail, releasing the pelvis at the bottom. So we start here, so it's a pelvic tilt, and then we press up, creating that straight line from the thigh to our shoulders. Once you're here, press your arms straight down. It's gonna turn on the triceps. We're gonna stretch the front of the bicep, shoulder, and chest, okay? Feeling where your butt and your thighs meet, that's what should be pushing you up. And then we just melt from the top to the tail. And one more time, lift up. Inhale at the top, and then exhale to slowly make your way down. All right, so I'm gonna flip over onto my stomach. My feet are gonna be laterally rotated. My forearms are down. And then I'm just pressing up here. Try not to squeeze from your glutes to lift you. They might squeeze a little, but try not to make that the only muscle that's doing the work. And then down. And then lift. And then down. And lift. So once we're up here lifted, we're gonna stay. And then maybe the arms straighten and we lift a little bit higher. Watch that you're not shrugging your shoulders. We're gonna keep those guys down off of the ears. And then lower back down. And go ahead and do that again. So you're gonna lift up. Here. Good. Shoulders cleared away from the ears. And then back down. Now, arms are gonna be at your sides. I'm gonna have the palms face the sides of the body. And we're gonna lift. And then exhale back down. Lift. And lower. Final. Lift. And then lower. Now, I love this one. Let's put the forehead on top of folded hands. And I'm gonna lift one elbow up and then down. So as I'm lifting up, my legs aren't moving. I'm simply rotating my upper thoracic spine. Inhale, lift, and exhale down, and lift, and down. Go ahead and let's take the arms and the legs straight behind you. So my feet are now gonna be hip distance or together. And let's go basic. Right arm, left leg, and lower. Opposite, and lower. So I've got a little difference in my right and my left leg. This is where you just notice where your body is moving symmetrically and where it feels stuck. Now, if it feels okay, you're gonna lift both arms and both feet, and we're just gonna swim here. Rhythmic breathing, so your shoulders are away from the ears. You're just breathing in through the nose for a few kicks, and then exhaling through the lips for the same number. Find your rhythm. We're trying to keep the trunk of the body pretty stable, and we're really just moving the arms and the legs. Pause. We're gonna laterally rotate the legs. So now the knees and toes point out, and same. Breathe in, and out. Pause. Open, together. Open, and together. So when we bring our hands and our feet center, like we're diving into a pool, try not to let any part of your arms brush the mat. And out, and in, out, and in. 2 more, out. And we're gonna hold it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and shell stretch. So the difference here between shell and child's pose is that I'm not placing my waist on my thighs. I'm trying to reach my back up towards the ceiling and weight shift back. While we're here, bring both hands to one edge and pull the hips on the opposite side of the mat. And on the other side, of course. While we're here, we'll go ahead and do a nice upper back twist. So hands and knee position. We're gonna take one arm up toward the ceiling and we're gonna lay it down. We're gonna thread it under. So our head and our shoulder are down. This hand that's down, press to encourage more rotation. And back up. Opposite hand, threads under. Laying the head and shoulder down and try to press into the flat palm to rotate the back even more. And then we're back up. So here we are, hands and knees. I'm going to take my left leg back and my right arm forward, and keeping my back nice and flat, bend the elbow and the knee and reach. So as I extend my leg out, I'm pressing through the heel of the foot, strength through the back side of my leg. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Changing. So this bird dog exercise is one of the best exercises that we can do for our back strength and our core. We kind of forget this one because it looks easy, but if you're doing it correctly, it isn't, right? You should feel a whole bunch of things working here. One more time. Hands and knees down. Back to that first side. So now I'm going to keep my foot flexed down, wide and middle. So as I go wide, I'm trying to maintain my arm, shoulder height, and my foot at hip height. My back straight. 3, 2, and 1. Change. So my foot is down, right? Flex it, hip height, wide, and middle. So my foot is staying pointed at the floor as it moves wide. I'm not turning it in the direction that it's headed. 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to enjoy that cow or that cat, sorry, not cow, cat stretch, or your shell stretch here. Okay, and then go ahead and just have a seat. Let's take your legs out towards the corners of the mat. Dorsiflex the feet. The back being straight is most important, so if that means you need to sit knees bent, then do it. Arms are wide, letter T, seated tall. We're going to turn right. 1, 2, and 3. Back to the middle. And left. 2, 3, middle. 1, 2, 3, center, left, 2. So every time as you're turning, we're getting taller and taller and taller. This is great for all your postural muscles across the upper thoracic. And one more, rotate 1, rotate 2, and 3, middle, left, 2, 3, and middle. Okay, here we go. All the way down onto our backs. Hundreds, arms are gonna be forward. You can leave your feet down. In fact, for today's workout, I'm gonna leave my feet down. We're gonna flex head, neck, and shoulders forward here. And you're trying to just keep your upper body still. And we're gonna just pulse the arms. Inhale, 3, 4, 5, breathe out. So what I like to do with my feet down is really concentrate on drawing my belly button down towards the ground, especially as I exhale. Breathe in, 2, 4, 5, breathe out. So I'm not a good counter like every other Pilates instructor, so I think that's about 5. They don't make memes for no reason, right? We can't count very well. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the lips. 7, 2, 4, 5, breathe out. 80. Exhale. 9, one more, 2, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, hold it here, and I'm gonna reach the right, and then reach the left. So it's like I'm trying to touch my ankle, touch my ankle. So I'm maintaining that flexion, that upper body curl. My legs are stationary. I'm trying not to let my legs fishtail in the opposing direction. Keep them still. 2 more each, right, left, and then down we go. Let the knees just sway right and left. There's so many exercises that you can do for a mat Pilates workout. So what I'm trying to do today is a nice combination of both flexion, which is your crunching, some of the back extension, rotation, and then lateral bending. That is what I find makes your body feel best. So there's going to be lots of that. Okay, our legs, tabletop, we've got that connection here in our lower back. And if you need to have your feet down, do. We're going to bring the hands behind the head. Take a breath in through the nose and exhale, flex forward. Now as you flex forward, it's like you want to be looking right through the thighs. And I'm going to extend one leg out and then switch. So the leg that is extending, the lower it goes, the more challenging it is for your core. Keeping your low back down is most important. So don't go so low that you cannot keep your back protected. That rhythmic breath again. I don't like to always breathe in on one spot and breathe out on another spot. It's too much. Just natural breathing. We're going to add a turn. So when your legs are bent, one table, one long, I'm going to rotate towards the bent knee and then change. So I'm not just trying to bring my elbow to my knee. I'm taking both shoulders and I'm flexing up with a rotation towards the incoming knee. If your low back's talking, those legs are higher, okay? Keep your low back down and strong. Same rhythmic breath. Your head should feel supported in the hands, but not that your arms are pulling your head forward. Tabletop. Now we're going to take off a top hat as the legs go long and then crunch it. When I crunch it, I'm going to grab and I'm going to pull up just a little bit more. Long, up, long, exhale, inhale, lengthen, crunch. So arms are overhead, I'm not lowering my upper body down. I'm staying in that flexion. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs are up. Flex the feet, grab towards one ankle, the other one can go down. And we're gonna just hang out right here just for a second, enjoy the stretch, relax the shoulders. This top foot, point, flex, point, flex. One more time. Change, point, flex. And then 1, 2, change, 1, 2, 1, 2. I am pulling in, right, with my hands. First, I'm getting there with my abs, pulling in to stretch my hamstring. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it right there. And then take a break. Feet are down, side to side sway with the knees. Okay, let's come on up. We're gonna go side saddle, okay? This is mermaid position if you use the reformers. So my foot is against my thigh, and this one's bent this way. And I'm gonna scooch back since I'm on the mat here, on the edge, so I have enough room. Okay, I'm gonna place a hand down, and as I do, same time I'm gonna push my butt forward so that I stretch through this side here. And then okay? Good hip mobility too. So I'm gonna push forward. This is sort of like a take on that traditional side bend in the mat series. I was teaching a reformer class earlier today, and we were commenting on the strength that you get from a mat-based class. Everybody thinks that reformer classes is where you build strength. I think that's a nice combination of both is really the sweet spot. Okay, we're gonna switch. Okay, so notice right and left if it feels the same. Definitely a little tighter on this side. I'm gonna come up and reach. Scooch back just a tiny. Okay, you should be able to sit upright again. And then reach. So this side's really pushing forward. This bottom shoulder is clear. And we're here. And again, up and push and stretch. So much of our life is just forward and backwards. Let's move, let's rotate and bend and stretch and twist. That's what our body is built to do, and that's what makes it feel the best. One more time. Up. And then back down. All right, now I am sideways. Modification first. The bottom knee can bend and the top leg straight, and I'm gonna lift. So with this modification, I've got this knee down on the bottom. So we're gonna start here. We're actually gonna do our side lying stuff in this partial side plank. So let's keep the bottom side waist lifted and this top leg up and down. I've got my foot dorsiflex so that instep touches the mat, and then we're up and lift and lift. So meanwhile, this bottom side of my obliques working, my armpit is engaged, my lats are firing. 3, 2, I'm gonna hold it up. Now, keeping the leg lifted, I'm gonna tap the hip and lift. Tap and lift. 3, getting a little isometric here, working this lateral flexor on the bottom. 6, 7, and once more, and down. I'm gonna take this leg and bring it around and just get this stretch. It's a little figure 4-esque kind of stretch. Okay, other side. Create a nice straight line from your shoulders to your bottom knee, and then we're out. A word about this elbow. My elbow is directly below my shoulder. I see a lot of people out here. This unnecessary strain on the rotator. Please make sure it's directly under the shoulder when you lift. Leg up and down. And lift. And lift. Second side always hurts more than it did on the first because this one, believe it or not, was working just like this right one is working now. Hold it, tap, lift, and lift, and lift. And 5, 6, 7, once more, and 8. Okay, get that little figure 4 stretch here. Okay. I'm going to flip over onto my stomach, and my elbows are bent, and I'm going to be in a traditional modified plank here. So my legs are going to be open, hip distance apart, and I'm on my knees to start. And what I'm going to do is try not to shift huge here in the upper body. And I'm going to reach one forward arm, connect it to the earth, switch. So there's a little weight transfer that happens when you pick one of the elbows up. But just do your best to stay stationary. You should feel everything in your core working. Right, return, left, return, right, return, left. One more each, and left. And then let's take that little shell stretch. If you spend a lot of your time with equipment Pilates and little time on your mat, this stuff will be hard, okay? Make sure you're making time for both. All right, now, I'm gonna do tricep push-ups. I am gonna do them on my knees, just so my form is absolutely clean. So, my legs are together. I'm on the thigh, not the kneecap, okay? And as I start, my hands are gonna be just under the shoulders. And as I bend my elbows, my entire trunk goes down. My elbows are gonna aim straight back towards my legs, and I can get my chest down to the mat. Down and up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice little weight shift back. Okay, we're gonna shift back to our backs. Feet are in close to your bottom, hip distance apart. Take a breath. Like we began with those hip rolls, lift. We're gonna stay right here. So imagine you've got something that you're holding at the knees. Inner thighs are on. One leg is up. We're gonna lower the leg. Inhale, it's up. And lift. 3, 2, 1. Foot is down. Other leg. 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1. Put the foot down. Down we go. Side to side with the knees. Okay, we're gonna do a little rollover prep. So we have our imprint position and the knees are tabletop. And I'm gonna allow the legs to travel towards the mat together and then in. So as they come in towards my chest, I'm trying to lift my bottom. Up. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and rock yourselves up. I'm going to come down onto my forearms, and my lower back is protected and scooped, and my upper back is straight. My knees are either table or straight, and they're going to draw this circle down, around, and up. Down, around, and up. And up. Halfway down is the inhale, and then exhale on the lift. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. One more. Back around to the top, and then let's go ahead and reach forward. Anytime you stretch forward, dorsiflex the feet back towards you. Try to grab the pinky edge of the foot and stretch. I like putting roll-ups towards the end of the workout where the back is already warm. Grounding. Arms are overhead. The arms lead. And all the way up and forward. Sort of take a visual measurement here. How far are you reaching your hands? And then through the course of 6 roll-up, let's see if you can reach those hands a little further. That's 2. Sequential. 3. And reach. Try to get bone by bone sequential flexion. If you're having a difficult time getting up, grab weights in your hands, and that'll assist right this part here. That's where it's hard. That's what those weights will help with. 2 more. This was our last. Stay forward. I like to place my wrists right at my toes and just put my hands down on my feet and reach forward. Breathe. Relax the shoulders. And then all the way up. All right, so that completes our 30-minute mat workout. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're doing a lot of equipment classes and you found that hard, challenge yourself to practice more mat Pilates more often, and you'll see a huge shift in not only your strength, but also how you feel. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.